Why did they do this deal?
Well, it's an upgrade talent-wise. I mean, the fact is that Derrick Rose is still a significant name. He doesn't have star power, the same star power that he used to have, but he's a significant name. Obviously, when you hear that Derrick Rose is leaving Chicago and going to the New York Knicks, it will raise the proverbial eyebrows, no doubt about that. You've seen times in the last season when he played 66 games. And, you know, there have been moments of the spectacular where it was reminiscent of his days when he was league MVP. And so you take a deep breath and you recognize that it is Derrick Rose. It is an upgrade from Jerry and Grant, from Robin Lopez or anybody like that. But then as time wanes, meaning the seconds and the minutes that follow, you remember that over the course of 328 regular season games over the previous 4 years, this is the same Derrick Rose that missed 201 of them, including the complete 2012-2013 season, played just 10 games the 2013-2014 season, played 51 games, meaning missing 31 games the following season, and this past season, he played 66 games, and everybody wanted to stand up and give him standing ovation. So when you look at it from that perspective, you recognize that the talent is still something that is better than average, but is he what he used to be due to the bevy of injuries he suffered from in years past? The answer would be no. Do you expect him to deliver the Knicks to a championship? Hell no. Do you expect him to assist Carmelo Anthony in possibly being attractive enough to acquire a marquee free agent like Kevin Durant? Chances are slim to none in that regard, but it does improve your chances incrementally.
Okay, so what the Knicks are right now, if you have Rose, Carmelo, Porzingis, the Knicks are what as you look at the East?
A potential 500 team that's a 7th or 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoff picture who would go home in the first round. The sad part is in the Phil Jackson era, that would be considered a considerable improvement. This is the same Phil Jackson that took over 2 years ago, signed it for anywhere from $10 to $12 million, basically a $60 million deal to be the president of basketball operations, and we're still waiting for him to do the job. In terms of a marquee free agent, which I believe is Phil Jackson's #1 responsibility to acquire, we're still waiting for that marquee free agent to show up. In 2 years presiding over the New York Knicks franchise, Phil Jackson's record is 49 and 115. I'm going to repeat those numbers as a Knicks fan. 49 and 115. Phil Jackson really wants to show us he's doing his job, that he's worthy of 6 times more than anybody at his position is getting paid. Go out there and get a superstar free agent. Until that moment in time comes, I'm not overly impressed. Yes, Derrick Rose, welcome to New York City. Happy to have you because you are an upgrade. But he's not the Derrick Rose of old, and he damn sure ain't Kevin Durant. Therefore, I'm not overly moved. I'm happy he's here, but I'm not overly moved.
Stephen A. Smith, the finals are over. The NBA is not. Good luck getting that vacation time in, brother. And now we bring in Michael Wilbon, who knows something about Chicago pro basketball. Michael, what's the Bulls' motivation for moving a former MVP out of his hometown?
Well, John, I guess the franchise has decided there's only so much disappointment that one group can have and still somehow progress, and they just needed to be away from each other. An amicable divorce, if you will, was necessary. And, you know, I didn't think that the Knicks would have enough in return to make trading Derrick Rose there worth it, but Bulls management decided otherwise. But still, this is an emotional story, John, in Chicago, as much, if not more so, than a basketball story.
All right, so you walk me right into this one. Now that it is finished, go ahead and frame it or give me the book on Rose's career in Chicago.
Wow. I mean, it got off to such an incredible start. If you asked me to rank the basketball players in the history of that city in the 50 years of that franchise in terms of popularity and just appeal, it would be obviously Michael Jordan. Second would be Scottie Pippen. And third would be Derrick Rose. And Rose was in some ways beloved more than Pippen just because Rose is from Chicago. Not the player that Pippen was, certainly not as decorated, not as accomplished, but getting to a conference final so early in his career, winning an MVP, that's something Scottie didn't do. That's something Jerry Sloan and Norm Van Leer, Bob Love, Chet Walker, all of those players whose names resonate in Chicago, they didn't do that. But the disappointment over that April 2012 knee injury, that started the downward spiral, injury after injury, so many games missed, you know, more than 60% of the games that Derrick Rose was eligible to play in. He didn't play in, and it was mostly one disappointment after another following that first knee injury.
So many shots of him warming up in street clothes before playoff games. Hopefully that is sort of not the lasting, enduring memory of Derrick Rose. Michael Wilbon, thanks so much, and we will see you tomorrow night on our NBA draft coverage.
Thanks, John.
Big question marks now facing New York's new star duo. There they are, Rose and Carmelo Anthony. Can they get on the court together? Both have missed a significant amount of time with knee injuries recently. When they share the ball, Melo leads the NBA in field goal attempts per game in the last 4 seasons, while Rose not far behind. We have seen Melo team up before with a star guard of sorts. He played with Allen Iverson in Denver for more than 2 seasons. They combined for a 1-8 record in the playoffs. Iverson, of course, then sort of well past his MVP days as well.
Wins by the Cardinals.
Derrick Rose, Madison Square Garden, Rose Garden. Beg your pardon, Lynn Anderson reporting that the point guard, once full of promise, traded from the Bulls to the Knicks today. 240 games and an MVP award his first 3 years in the league. 166 games and a lot of surgical scars the past 5. Guy's been through some things, to be sure. All right, former teammates.
With the first pick in the 2008 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose from the University of Memphis.
Rose sneaks to the rim and slams it with 2 hands.
What a play by Derrick Rose. Rose, 3-ball coming up. Bam! You gotta love Derrick Rose. For MVP, Derrick Rose.
The 2010-2011 NBA Most Valuable Player Award to Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee, and down.
Rose is down. Rose is down to the right.
There's a lot of concern because it's Derrick Rose, because he's the MVP of the league.
I believe that I'm a special player. I know my story is far from done.
Derrick Rose on the drive. What a play, a circuit shot by Rose. Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
All right, from his teammate, who's a bromance, Jimmy Butler, posting on the Instagram, my point guard, my brother, he taught me so much since I came into this league as a 21-year-old kid from Marquette. For me, coming to Chicago to play and learn from you, an MVP was eye-opening. You helped shape me into the player I am today. Helped teach me the work ethic needed to excel in this league. You are a leader through and through, always a supportive teammate and friend. I'll always be thankful for the opportunity I had to play alongside you each night, and I know you're going to continue to be the great player and leader you were in Chicago for years to come. Very nice.